As part of my ever-expanding guidance to Batocera retro gaming guides, this time we'll be comparing numerous mini-PC options, reflecting the recent chip price increases with regards to NVMEs etc. Side-by-side comparisons of my previous and currently utilised machines. With that waffle over, let's begin. Within this case we have the Raspberry Pi 5. This is a 4GB model I purchased a few years back for implementation into an arcade one-up vertical cabinet, and it's sufficient for that. 2 USB 2.0 and 2 USB 3.0 ports are standard, along with 2 micro HDMI and a C-type power port. Be aware you'll require a 27 watt 5V power cable for this, otherwise you'll encounter USB issues. You can purchase an NVMe hat for this device nowadays if you wish to utilise an NVMe drive instead of the micro SD card slot that this board now comes with. This board now retails in the UK for around £135. Once a case, PSU and additional cooling is purchased, don't expect much change from £200. Due to the current chip shortages, it was half of that when I purchased it. This is the Intel Celeron, 2 USB 3.0s and a USB-C port on the front of this device, 2 HDMI ports and another 2 USB 2.0 ports on the rear, along with an Ethernet port. This emulates up to GameCube very well with Batocera, but struggles with most GameCube titles. 8GB, 256GB NVMe, base 2.0 GHz and a boost up to 3.3. Here we have the Intel N95 mini PC, very similar specs to the previous mini PC with identical connections. However, this device is slightly smaller and features an increased boost clock of 3.4 GHz, giving better GameCube performance. This retails in the UK currently for around £240. Here I'll demonstrate the small sizing of this mini PC when compared to the others. Only the Pi 5 with case is smaller. Bear in mind that all the mini PCs similar to those demonstrated here have had a price increase over the past year due to their NVMe and chip shortages, with the Pi 5 board doubling in price too. This is the Minisforum Elite HX90 mini PC. As you can probably tell, this was expensive a couple of years back, with a single USB 3.0 and Type-C port on the front and 2 full-size display ports, along with 2 full-size HDMI ports and 4 additional USB 3 ports on the rear. This features a Ryzen 9 5900HX with a 3.3 GHz base and a boost up to 4.6 GHz, 32 GB of memory, an NVMe SSD drive and 2 SSD slots, Vega 8 graphics at 2100 MHz. Plays most standard Switch and PS3 stuff fine, but will struggle thereafter. Next up, the Ryzen 7 7735HS, 3.2 GHz base, boost up to 4.75 GHz, 32 GB of RAM with a Radeon 680M graphics at 2200 MHz, similar performance to the previous mini PC but with a slightly better GPU and less connectivity, dual HDMI ports, 3 USB 3 ports and a single USB 2. Next we'll move on to the first of what I'd consider the currently necessary top-end mini PCs based on emulation status at the current time. The Ryzen 7 7840HS, 2 USB 3.0 ports and a single USB Type-C port on the front of this unit, a display port and an HDMI port, along with another USB 3.0 and a single 2.0 port on the rear of this device. Next we'll move on to my personal favourite mini PC, utilising the same 780M GPU. A single USB Type-C port and a USB 3 port on the front of this device. Moving to the rear, display port and a HDMI port, along with two USB 4 ports. Two USB 2s, and also this device features a unique magnetised power adapter. This runs almost everything: Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Lindbergh, Switch, etc. relatively glitch free. Until such time as PS4 emulation has improved, I don't feel any need to upgrade beyond this machine. Currently inflated chip prices have been reflected in this content. Check out my other content if this proved useful to you. Leave a like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.